Hello, my name is Amelia, and I just finished my 10th grade school year, hence the wonderful little confetti banners. My entire school is part of the International Baccalaureate program, IB, pretty much just somewhat like AP, but worldwide and a little different. Because I have all this IB knowledge, IB knowledgeable in my head, I figured I would tell you guys a little bit about the IB program. I thought it'd be easiest to start off with IB art because I have all of my pieces with me right now. 10th grade in the International Baccalaureate program is called MYP5. 9th grade was MYP4. This year, sadly, was kind of the year that I began to hate art. It had nothing to do with my teacher or anything. It's just we actually started doing techniques, and because I don't want to do visual arts in my career path or future, these techniques just weren't interesting to me at all. To me, art was a place where we were supposed to be able to be creative and do whatever we wanted, not have a structural, you must do your art this way kind of class. But if you're into being a full-time artist or learning these techniques, then this class would be great. This is the book that I used during 9th grade and 10th grade. I always like designing my pages creatively. Like this is a little Starbucks counter, a shoe, which is really random. Our first unit was all about learning how to draw with charcoal or graphite. We started off by sketching hands. This was a wonderful banana that I drew. I'm actually kind of proud of this. It's still very charcoal-y. And here is a picture of my hand that I used as reference for my final pencil drawing. Let's go look at that. This is my art portfolio. Let's rip it open. My final hand drawing. As you can see, my little iconic Fitbit right there. Definitely not my favorite unit. This is kind of what led me into my spiral of disliking art. But hey, if pencil's your thing, go for it. Also bonus, you can see right here, I was trying to plan out all of my DP classes in my sketchbook. In 9th and 10th grade, you end up doing a lot of writing in art. In this unit, we had to create an animal made up of a bunch of different animals, and it had to serve a purpose. My purpose, because I'm such a little film geek, was to act as a moving tripod. Also, you always have to use citations in IB. This took a surprisingly long time to do. We had to do 20 different sketches of a mixed up animal. Some of my favorites include this thing. I also quite liked the slug with wings and the giraffe with a turtle head. This year in art, we were able to download Photoshop for free for the school, which is one of the main reasons that I'm happy that I took art. And here's my little photoshopped animal. Originally, I wanted to include a turtle shell, but my art teacher pretty much roasted my little mixed up animal in front of the whole class, saying that it was impossible to have wings and a turtle shell. My poor little guy. That was pretty sad. Note to art teachers everywhere, don't diss your kids' work. This was really fun, actually. We did little skeletal sketches of our animals, and then we practiced pen techniques, and I sketched out my little dude. This was the reference sketch that we used. And then to my final art piece that I actually really liked, Unleash the Kraken. Yes, it is called a Kraken. The Z is silent. This was all done using Micron, and I like the little textured look. It took a very long time, especially all the little stippling over here, but the end result is pretty nice, even though my art teacher even low-key roasted my final drawing in front of the whole class. Thanks. After that art project, we began on watercolor. This was when I really began hating art. Sorry, this is kind of a downer of a video. Oh wow, even more writing. Here we found 3 images that we would like to watercolor. I ended up choosing Universal Studios and the Hogwarts Castle. Here is my final. I quite like the top part, bottom, not so much. Again, I am not inherently talented at art in general, but even if you're not that great at art like I am, you can still totally get through MYP5 art. It's all about how hard you work, not about the actual skill that you have, I think. And then after the art project that made me and like 3/4 of my class want to never go back to an art class ever again, we started my favorite unit of the year, which was the Chuck Close portraits. I did a video on that, remember? Yeah. Look at this wonderful little thumbnail sketch. Here is my final painting. This actually turned out really well, even though I was up until about 11:30 every night painting it. I titled it Psych because it looks so weirdly psychedelic, and because the entire time I painted this, I pretty much just watched the TV show Psych. And our final unit of the year. So happy we were
so close to the end.
In this unit, we were given an art movement, and we had to sculpt a piggy bank to show off the art movement in a way. I did really like this random sketch of the creation of Adam, but with pigs. Again, more thumbnail sketches. You do those a lot in MYP5. My pig was based off of the painting The Birth of Venus. I called it The Girth of Pigness. This sketch was created after all of the pigs exploded. Yeah, plot twist. Luckily, all mine lost was an ear, but because everyone's exploded, it meant that I didn't have to actually paint and finish my pig, which was great. And the actual art part wasn't even graded. We just had a final exam that sucked. And my final pig was here. Even though I didn't want to paint it, because I didn't like art at all. I think maybe I'll paint it this summer and use it as like a pencil holder or something. Overall, MYP5 art may have made me really dislike art, but it was also really educational. I never would have been inspired or been able to do projects like these. Also, you have free access to materials. Yeah, take advantage of that. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye!